So hey guys, and welcome back to another Python tutorial. This video is based on the last tutorial that I created, which was creating graphics using Python. So in this tutorial we're going to be doing something slightly different. So in this one what we are essentially going to be doing is creating a form using Python and storing those details into a text file or into another file. So without further delays, let's just get into it. Firstly, what we do is we want to import Tkinter, so we do from Tkinter import star, which means import everything. After that, we want to initialize our screen, so screen equals tk. We want to set the size of the screen, so screen dot geometry. For now, we will go with 500 by 500. And then we want to also set a title for the screen, which is going to be Python form. You can change that if you like. So we're just going to run this just to show you how it looks so far. As you can see, we have a screen that is created and it's called Python form, and the size is 500 by 500. So if you're not familiar with any of these, I would highly recommend you to watch the first tutorial on this, because I've explained everything in a really basic manner and you can understand how it works. If you already have, then we're going to continue with the tutorial. So what we do after this is we want to put a label on the screen. So we'll type up, let's call this heading equals label, text equals Python form. What else? We want to set the background to yellow. Actually, we'll do this gray this time, and foreground is going to be black, just like always. You don't even have to type it in, but just for the sake of this tutorial, we'll be typing that in. So we're going to put the heading in the center of the screen, which is why we type in pack. And if we run this now, we should have a window. Label is not defined. So I've spelled that wrong. It's spelled label. If you change the spelling, it should work now. I always make the error for some reason. And as you see here, we have a title on the top of the screen, Python form. If we wanted to, we could also, I assume, change the height and width. We'll give that a try. Let's say we want it to be 20 and width to be 22. Okay, we'll run that. I'm not 100% sure that that's gonna work, but we can give it, yeah. So that's how it would look. So if you wanted the height to remain the same, which looks a lot better obviously, and increase the width to, let's say, 500, which is the size of the window, I think that will make it look a bit more better. Yeah, just like that. We can give it a bit more height as well, so we can make the height like 10 for now. So you can essentially design the way you want it to look as well. It's a bit too much, but we're gonna make it to like 3. So yeah, that should be okay. After this, what you want to do is we want to get the entries from the user. So we'll type in entry. We create a variable called entry text, or let's just call this, let's say we want the username, first name from the user. So give this the name of first name text equals label. I'm not going to waste a lot of time, so we're just going to copy this as it is, and we're going to paste it right here because it's essentially the same thing. We just change this into first name. You can put an asterisk if you want. We're going to leave the background to normal, foreground to normal, and we don't need either of this. So we're just going to need that for now. We're also going to take the last name from the user, so we'll just create a new variable called last name text equals, and we'll paste the same thing down there. This is quite a basic form, so hope you guys are not annoyed because it's a very basic tutorial. Okay, so all we need to do now is pack these up so that they're at the center of the screen. Pack, and then we'll do last name text.pack. And now when we run this, we should have two text label fields saying first name and last name. Yeah, I mean I accidentally wrote my surname on there, but we'll type in last name here. Yeah. So if you want it to be a bit more professional, what you would essentially do is place it instead of packing it. So you would give it an x-axis and a y-axis. So let's say x equals 10 and y equals, so this is from the top, we'll say 20. This will remain the same, so x will remain the same from the side, but that will change to presumably 30 for now. We'll see how that goes. We can change the variables pretty easily. X equals y equals 20. Okay, the problem was that we didn't place, we wrote pack instead, so that's the error. Just going to rerun this, and as you see here, we need a bit more height from the top, so we need to increase the y-axis a bit more. We'll give that like a 50, 100. We'll check this out if it works. Okay, so it's looking a lot better now. We're just going to increase this to like 15, so the distance from the left is increased a bit more. And then we'll give this a 70 and give this a 140. This should be perfect if I'm not wrong. Yeah, there we go. So now we have enough space to put an entry box here and an entry box here. Okay, so moving on, what we want to do next is get the entry fields in. So first of all, we're going to create the text variable that is going to store the names. So first name equals string variable. Last name equals string variable as well. And if you're storing a number, you could always use, let's do another one for age. Age, it's going to be integer variable. So once you got those three ready, we're also going to have to do another one here since we've added a new one. So another one for age. Age text equals, I just wanted to add agents so you could have an example of how you add numbers. So we'll put that as age. And as we pack this, we're just gonna place this as well. So if we go ahead and change this to age, this should stay the same, plus 40, let's say 210. Oops. And it should work, to be honest with you. Yeah, there we go. So what we want to do now is move on to the entries. So we will create an entry for, let's say, first name, can't type today, entry equals, so like before, entry, and all you need to enter here is text variable equals first name. So we assign this entry to this thing right here. So whatever is entered in here will be stored into this first name variable. We're just going to copy that straight away, paste it twice, and we're going to change that to last name and this to age. Okay, and we need to also change this to last name and change this to age. Okay, so once we're done with that, all we need to do is the placing of the entries. Once we find the first one, it's pretty much easy for the next, so it's always a problem with the first. So we do a dot place x equals the same, 15, and y would equal, I think, around 100. Let's try that. Okay, I think it works for now, but we need to increase the width a bit more and give it a bit more height maybe. So we will give it a width of say 100 for now, in quotation marks, and height of 2. Let's see how that goes. probably going to be a bit too much for what it is. Width, height. Or maybe we're not allowed to make the specific change within the parameters of the entry module. Yeah, so it's only taking in the width for some reason, so we're going to set the width to like a good 30. See, that works. Yeah, that should be fine. And we'll copy the same line here and down here too. Okay, so now we're gonna place the rest of the entries as well, being the age and the last name entry. And all we need to do is change this to last name, change this to age, and we only change this by, how much do we do here? 70, 80. I think that should be around 130, and this could do with a 160. We could try. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll try. Okay, so messed up a bit. Should be a bit more. So the second one is at 140. Should go below 140 then. We should go around 170. Try that. Yeah, that works. Maybe a bit more. 200. That works. So what we want to do next is go over here and change this to possibly 300 and see if that works. Okay, it's a bit too much, to be honest. So we'll decrease this to 80. Okay. I have to keep adjusting the values just to try and find the best spot for this stuff, which is quite annoying. Alright, it's slowly going down, so I think presumably 200 was the best number for this. I'm not sure why it messed up. Possibly like 180. 180. Okay, that's fine. So all we need to do here is make this maybe 220 or 280. Too much. 220. Too less. This is why I hate it so much, just to position stuff. I'd rather create like a program in Pygame just to help me out position. I just need to decrease this a bit more and then we're good to go. I think 240 should be perfect. Yeah, there we go. So now all we need to do is create the button that is gonna grab all this and put it into a text file. So the button is gonna be called continue maybe? Never mind. Finish, yeah, that's what we can call it. Or we can just create a button called register, because it registers the details. So we'll create a button and the text on the button is gonna be register. The width of the button is gonna be, should we do it the same size as the window? And the height would be 2. Also we need to enter the command, but we need to create a function before that. And then what we'll do is we'll try and pack the register because it kind of needs to be in the center. We'll see how that goes. So yeah, what we need to do is, I think, place it, because obviously we'll place the other objects as well, and then give it an x of 0, and the y should be maybe 450. Not very sure why the text hasn't shown up yet. Text equals register should have shown up, but the thing may be that the height's probably too much. Try that again. Okay, so what we want to do next is create the function that this button's gonna recall. So the function's gonna be called save info, and within this function we'll just say hello world for now because I just want to test the button out. Okay, and we'll give this a command of hello world. Oh, never mind, a command of save info, I mean. Also, we might as well put the screen in because it needs to be sitting on the screen. See how that goes? Okay, as we see here, we have the prompt. I'm gonna decrease the width to like probably 200. It feels a bit too much. Okay, it's still a lot, not gonna lie. Let's make it 30 maybe. Okay, there we go. Now we can finally see the text. The problem was it was a lot bigger than it should have been. So we just need to increase this to like a 290. And we should be good to go with that form. Yeah, there we go. And as we see here, as soon as we click register, our info is being registered. We might as well give this an X of like 15 as well, so it's properly aligned. And then a background of gray 2. We don't need to type out the foreground anyway because it's not required. Okay, so what we want to do next is get the information from the variables that we created, first name, last name, and age. So what should happen here essentially is we should get the first name info equals first name dot get second last name info equals last name dot get, and age info equals age dot get. We're gonna try printing all these three, and if it does work, obviously we've successfully created the phase 1 of this program, and we can move on to the second one. Name info and age info. Try this real quick. We're gonna write a first name in there, a last name, or age of 18. Register. Okay, that's perfect. So as you see right here, it saves the name, first name, last name, and the age. Okay, that's good. So what we do next is we want to create a text file, don't we? So we're going to create the text file. So we will do the text file to be file name equals file equals open. So we enter the file name, let's say user.txt, and after that we also we also give it a mode, so we're going to open it in write mode, and we're going to close that. After that, what we want to do is do file.write, and we're going to write all the info that we want to write in there. So we're going to say first name, comma, first name info, and then we're going to close that. Then we're going to write again to the file, last name. I'm keeping in separate lines so you don't get confused. Last name info. Okay, and then we're going to write again with the age. So we're going to do the age to be the age info. Okay, and then finally what we're going to do is do file.close and print that user comma first name info has been registered successfully. Okay, so we're gonna run this program just to check if it's working. There could be some errors, but we can try. So first name Jesus, surname Godinho, 18, register. Okay, we have an error. So right takes exactly one argument to given. Okay, so basically what it's trying to say is that you can only enter one thing into this, so we might have to take this one or merge these ones together. So what we need to do is get rid of this, because we're not allowed to keep two things inside at the same time. And then if we run the same again, it should work this time. Okay, there we go, as a form. And we register. We have an error again. Str, not integer. Okay, that's because of the age, because it's a what's it called, integer. So we're gonna overwrite that into a string equals string age info. So what we're essentially doing is converting the integer into a string so it can be written into the text file. Pretty confusing, but it still works. Okay, we'll try this one last time. Register. And finally, without any errors, here we get the prompt saying user has been registered successfully. Thank you. We're going to close this for now, and we're going to go into the same directory, graphics, and here we have user.txt, and here we are. We've successfully saved the first name, the last name, and the age. But the last improvement that we want to make to this program would be that when we enter everything like this, yada yada yada, and we register, the form clears up for the next person. Yeah, that's what we want to improve in this program. So the way you will do that is we take the entry name, which is gonna be first name entry, copy that, copy this. Okay, they don't want to copy, no one to copy. Okay, never mind, we can't do that in Python. But what we want to do is take that, copy that, take that as well, and take this and do a dot delete 0, end, and that should work. And do the same for the last one as well. We'll run this real quickly and we'll see if it works. Right. If I put anything here, as we see there, we can write stuff in there. Obviously this needs to be a number. We register and the form clears up. It's obviously got scaling issues because we haven't packed it, but we've placed it in one corner of the screen. But anyway guys, that was it for today's tutorial. Hope you've liked it. Please make sure to drop a like, comment and subscribe, and help me reach my target subscribers of 1,000 subscribers. And I will see you in the next one. Peace out.